Alright everybody, welcome to Street City Studio. I'm John, and today I wanted to talk about character collections. And now what I mean by character collections is basically what it sounds like, a small collection or large collection built around one character, right? And this is probably something that happens to anyone that's been collecting for a little while. You definitely end up with some multiples, right? And there's characters that are famous for this, like Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, and Batman, and Spider-Man, Wolverine, right? They're definitely known to get multiple releases, right? In every costume variation that you could imagine, right? And even for Wolverine, right? He's got both of these costumes are the exact same figure, just painted slightly different, right? But I had to have them. One's X-Force and one's Astonishing. Right? And Luke Skywalker's no different, right? You gotta have every version because he changes his clothes often, right? Which is kind of realistic. Some characters in these fictional worlds never change their clothes, and it's kind of weird. Right, but it causes a lack of a definitive version, right? There's no definitive Luke because he changes his clothes for every adventure, right? And even things like this, the award ceremony outfit only got one scene, right? There's comic books where he wore it, but you don't wear it very much on screen. But it's still a fan favorite, I think. Right? Lots of us still needed that figure, right? Now, characters like Darth Vader, I have lots of Vaders, but most of them are almost identical with just slight variations, right? And I didn't want to include that. I want to show off some of the differences. Right. Those are mostly small gimmick-based differences and not so much aesthetic differences. Right, but I definitely character build Wolverine, Luke Skywalker, right? Now I'm not talking about army building, right? Something like stormtroopers or clone troopers you might army build, right? Jawas, Cobra troopers or ninjas, right? I'm not talking about those exactly, right? I'm talking about variations, right? The same character that you needed multiple versions to feel complete. Right? Like Juggernaut here. They knew what they were doing when they released it like this, I think. Right? If they would have just released one with a removable helmet, that would have been the only one I needed. Right? But if you remove this one's helmet, there's no head under it. It's half a head, just a face basically, and the helmet doesn't fit over this one. So, you gotta buy them both. More power to them, because I had to. Something that surprised me as I was going, right, was Zod, right? I don't dislike Zod as a character, but I never thought of myself as a Zod fan. But I've ended up with, multiple Zods. And they both actors did a fine job. I liked to dislike both of those actors in those roles, you know. But you end up with some oddities too, like Harrison Ford, right? Harrison Ford probably shows up on my shelf more than most actors, right? And so I'll include his multiple characters into the same point, right? I've got several versions of Han Solo that aren't even getting included here, like the long coat and the Millennium Falcon pilot with the headset and the gloves, right? So I got multiple Han Solos and multiple Indiana Joneses, right? So he's definitely on my shelf more than most. I'm sure most of your guys' shelves are probably the same way too, right? Harrison Ford's probably making the same appearances on you, at least some of you guys' shelves, right? Billy D. Williams, right? Lando Calrissian, right? Now I don't have General Lando. I still need that one. Characters like Darth Sidious. Right. That's an older figure there, but right. You got the Phantom Menace's unscarred version. The Senate fight with Yoda. Right. Characters, some of my favorite character, Boba Fett, right? Boba and Jango both. No, I didn't find it for this video, but I do have both the Empire and the Return of the Jedi Boba. But I've also got Morak Boba and the Book of Boba Fett Boba, and two versions of Django, at least here. Okay. How many Boba Fetts you guys got? Let me know in the comments. I've got at least 6. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any. I've got at least 6. Did I leave Sabretooth out? Right. I think I should have included him with that little Wolverine bit. But Sabretooth, right? Got a couple Sabretooths. I have a Tyler Mane Sabretooth custom that I did. I didn't bother including here though. Now, I don't have a very large Iron Man armory, but I do have a couple figures at least. Right? I've got both the Hulkbusters, the Tony's Hulkbuster and Bruce's Hulkbuster, but that one's a knockoff because they didn't release an official Hulkbuster for Tony. I don't know why. They would have sold, I'm sure. And I've definitely got a handful of Iron Man armors. Like I said, I'm sure lots of you watching probably have much fuller Iron Man armories. One thing, I've never been much of an army builder, and that's kind of what inspired this video. And once I get my hands on the definitive figure of that character, I don't necessarily need to keep chasing all the extra variations they put out, right? But sometimes it's nice to have them. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time on these guys, including these guys. I've got a good handful of different Thors and Lokis, but like I said, I'm not gonna include all of them here because lots of them are just variations, slight variations on this. I've got a darker green and a brown, lots of variations on this with a different helmet, different hair lengths, and different paint jobs or whatever. But worth throwing in there that I've got a good handful of them. Good old Stars and Stripes, Captain America. I'm probably not gonna sit here and play with all the shields too long, but you know, gotta get all the different costumes you can get. Okay, the first Avengers movie. Alright, Endgame and Infinity War. Oh, he's not going to stand. There we go. There's an alternate, darker blue from the first Avengers movie. World War II. Got the stealth suit with the head swap, that one there. I really like that stealth suit. Captain America's the man. Gotta love Captain America. Or maybe you don't. I do. Everybody loves some Hulk, right? Got some Ang Lee, Eric Bana Hulk. Alright. Yeah. Ed Norton Hulk here. Just a little smaller. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, even a little smaller than that. And actually, this Ruffalo Hulk is about on par with Ed Norton Hulks. He's a big one. He's probably the biggest one I have for Ed Norton. But in the same line, I'm not going to include all my Hulk figures, but in the same note. Alright, the Abomination. Got multiple Abominations, right? This one has that spine feature. I'm not a big fan of that spine feature, but it's a nice enough figure. It looks good. Alright. I've got another Ed Norton Hulk here, but he's so tiny. He does look nice though. There's no articulation, no size. Like I said, a lot of them are probably just a couple figures maybe sometimes, right? I've got several Storms. But it depends on what era you're trying to recreate or simulate. Right? I definitely got several Chewbacca's. But who do you guys character collect? Who do you army build for your character collections? I appreciate you guys joining me. Keep playing with them toys, and I'll talk to you soon.